Okay, so now I'd like to talk about the knee joint. To do that, this section lists all these different structures there, but I'd like to go ahead and point them out on some images just to help you interpret them if you need that. So the big thing that helps me orient myself to the knee joint is whenever I first look at an image, I ask myself, what am I looking at? So the patella is always on the anterior surface of the knee. So if you see the patella, then you're going to be looking at that anterior surface. The other thing that always helps orient me is the fibula. The fibula is always lateral, okay? So here we would be looking at somebody from the front, okay? And this would be closer to their midline, and this would be closer to the lateral surface of their body, okay? So this is with all of those ligaments packed around the knee. And so some of the structures that I'm going to point out, one is that between the patella and the tibia, so down here is the tibia, there's a ligament. Remember, ligaments connect bone to bone, and it's called the patellar ligament. Above the patella is a tendon. Remember, tendons connect bone to muscle. And so this is the tendon of the quadriceps femoris. It's a set of 4 muscles up here. And so that would be that tendon up here. Okay. Now on either side, here connecting the fibula to the femur, is going to be called the fibular collateral ligament. Now some textbooks call it the lateral collateral ligament, and that's fine. But that's just going to be a structure that helps stabilize this interaction here. On the other side will be the tibial collateral ligament, often also called the medial collateral ligament. Okay. And notice here this patellar ligament, it's actually connecting down onto that tibial tuberosity, one of the surface features that we learned in the last sections. Okay, now this is still, you notice the patella's up here, so we're still looking from the front side. It's just been pulled back so you could see these internal structures. And here's the lateral side because here's the fibula once again. Okay, showing us the fibular collateral ligament, which we already learned, and then the tibial collateral ligament as well, which we also learned. Now here we're going to have a couple of different structures. Here are a couple of intracapsular ligaments, so that means they're inside the joint cavity. And you probably heard about them because people tend to tear them fairly frequently. So one is the anterior cruciate ligament. Cruciate means cross, okay? And so here's the posterior one, and you notice that they kind of make a little X. And so they're forming a cross structure, okay? The anterior one, the anterior part can be seen attached to the tibia. So that's how I remember. You're looking from the bottom up. So at the bottom of this ligament, the one that's most anterior is the anterior cruciate ligament. Okay, this one back here is the posterior cruciate ligament. Notice its bottom part is found behind the anterior. The other part that you're going to see here is you're going to see the lateral meniscus, which is a pad of fibrocartilage right here in between the tibia and the femur, and the medial menisca, also between the tibia and the femur. Notice that's a pad that helps kind of resist compression and form a better articulating surface between the condyles of the femur and the tibia. And then once again, this is looking at a sagittal section of the knee. And so to see some of these structures, first you have the anterior, well, let me actually orient you to the bones. So here's the patella, so you know this is the front side. Here's the tibia. We don't actually see the fibula. And here is going to be the femur. All right. And in yellow here is showing the joint cavity, the synovial cavity. Okay. Right here, we're going to see this articular cartilage that's going to wrap each side of the articulating parts of the bones. Here, connecting patella to tibia, is that patellar ligament. And up here, sometimes called the patellar tendon or the tendon of the quadriceps femoris muscle, and so that's going to be up here. All right. Here we have our intracapsular ligaments, so they're inside that joint cavity. Notice the front part of this one that's connected to the tibia is anterior, so this is the anterior cruciate ligament. And over here is the posterior cruciate ligament. Okay. And then notice this right here is that is the lining of the joint capsule. Okay, so this is the articular capsule that would have that fibrous portion and also be lined by a synovial membrane. And then the other thing you can see here is going to be the lateral meniscus. So this meniscus that helps form that fibrocartilage pad right here, it helps limit movement and also resist compression. Okay, and so to help you learn these structures are some labeling activities from both front and back views so that you can learn what you are looking at.